Hi, I'm Janae.
Hi, I'm Janelle.
And we are the owners of Janelle and Janae Jewelry. And this is our Etsy shop audit. It's hard because with trying to define a niche for our jewelry, it can be for everybody and every occasion, and so it's like hard to find a lane to stay in.
All right. Well, welcome to the Etsy shop audits. I am excited because this is our first mother-daughter duo, and this is exciting. We have Janelle and Janae, and why don't we say who is who so everyone knows? Which one's Janelle?
Oh, she's Janelle. I'm Janae.
There you go. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk through everything that you submitted to us for this audit. And then from there, we're going to dig in. Okay. So the shop age is 2015 is when it was started, but it's been active 2024. It's kind of, I'm kind of taking it as you like reactivated it. It was running, but yet you weren't really focusing on it. And now all of a sudden 2024, you're like, we're going to go ahead and give this thing a shot. Is that accurate?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, cool. The niche, we have gifts for cute, whimsical, and fun jewelry lovers. Okay. We have sticking point defining the niche. All right. And then total revenue to date is $3,606. That's probably changed because when you submitted this, it was a little while ago. But that's good, solid numbers. And then income goal is you had $58,500. And you put down their college tuition for your daughter. I think that's amazing. Because I've said this before. I think it's interesting because a lot of people are like, I want to earn money for a side hustle or whatever, right? And I was like, man, you could really, if you had a college going to school, if you started early enough, you could literally build this thing to support or help or even pay for the whole thing. And that was your goal here. But I also noticed that you had a different number, which was around 45,000 on the other thing. So we're talking $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, right? For college. We don't know what college it is yet and how much that's going to cost, but we want something there. All right, cool. So I love all that. So why don't we start with this? You said defining your niche, but why don't you give us a little bit of a backstory? I think we would all like to hear the backstory. How did you guys get started working together and coming up with these ideas and the jewelry, and like, where did it all start?
Well, I'm a crafter. That's what I do. And I teach a lot of cricket classes locally here.
Okay.
And one of the things we were doing for one of the classes, I can't remember what it was, but we were working with shrink plastic, which is shrinky dink from like way back in the day. I don't know if you remember that. And
I remember
making its way back. It's resurging. And it was really cute. So we were doing some pins, we were doing some earrings, some keychains, just for fun. But really, like football season, we did some cute ones for the Chiefs and for myself. And who was it? San Francisco.
Okay.
And those really took off. We were wearing them, giving them out to family. People really loved it. So we're like, you know what? This could be like a little business. Let's do some fun kind of jewelry, a little bit different than everything you see every day. But it's hard because with trying to define a niche for our jewelry, it can be for everybody and every occasion, and so it's like hard to find a lane to stay in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so I guess so when you started, you were just doing the crafting stuff just because you guys were having fun with it. Crafting is what you do. It's like you said, but then you're like, this could maybe turn into something. Like, so you said that you opened the Etsy shop in 2015. What was it then?
Okay, so back in 2015, we were doing wedding and event videography. You probably know a little bit about that. And
yes.
And so we were doing 360 videos before it really got popular. And we were selling I don't know if you remember the little cardboard viewfinders for your phone. So you can make it into the goggles. We were creating those and selling them online. But it really just didn't pick up. I think we were too ahead of the technology back then. And so it sat for a long time. And I was worried that since it sat for so long, that it would hurt our algorithm, how we would perform.
Yeah.
But it kind of took off. I mean, we sold quite a few earrings just by, posting what we were creating as we were creating them. So it's doing pretty good.
Okay. Okay. And so at this point right now, like what would you say is your, like, I know you had like a couple of different categories there, like whimsical and cute jewelry and this, that, but like, what would you say is your top selling stuff? And I know we'll look at your shop and we'll look at everything, but like, what would you say is like the thing that you're like, oh, there's another one of those. Wow. There's another one of those.
Well, it's all over the place. Like it's not related in any kind of way. So that makes it really tough. But some of our fruit themed jewelry, like watermelons and, strawberries and lemons and limes, maybe because it's spring and it's summer, I don't know. And then also some of our sports themed, like team colors type of jewelry. So that kind of took off pretty well too. But a lot of holidays, like whenever there's a holiday coming up and we make something for that holiday, then it sells well and then it drops off right after that holiday.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Chris, where do you want to go first? You want to go ahead and pull up the shop and we can kind of go through it and check it out and maybe give our first impression, or even like what we feel like if we walked into this shop, like what we would be. Because I always look at it like a brick and mortar. Like I think everyone needs to think about their Etsy shop like a brick and mortar, because let's face it. And we did an Etsy shop audit a couple of weeks back, and it was someone that has an art studio, and she does really well with foot traffic walking by, right? Because people are strolling by like, oh, cool, let's go in and check out, their artwork. And we might want to find something. It's near the beach. So they're like, oh, let's go in and check this out. That's fine. But on Etsy, it's always about the search, right? It's always about what are they searching for? And it's a whole nother mindset instead of being like you guys were like, even in the beginning, you're like, well, we're creating these things. Let's go ahead and put them up, right? And see if people, if they are searching for them or if they see them. And really it comes down to figuring out what is going to be that niche. And it doesn't mean you have to be like pigeonholed into that niche 100%, but you do have to have some type of direction. So when we do lead the people in with whatever products that we're going to be leading them in with, we want to have an assortment of other things that they can buy in that shop. Right. And that's kind of, that's kind of how we always look at it, because Etsy is not necessarily someone's just going to go there and scroll and look at all the cute stuff. Now they might in the car if they're bored or whatever, right? You might go in there and scroll. Oh, that's cute. Right. But for the most part, we want to cater to someone that's looking for something, right? Whether it's a gift or whether it's someone searching for, they're redecorating a room and they're like, I want a rustic farmhouse sign. Right. And that's kind of how we see it. So Chris, do you have that ready to be pulled up?
Yeah, let's pull that in right here.
Can you make your screen a little bigger for me?
You want it bigger?
Well, can you scroll it? Yeah, there you go. Go that way. There you go.
Small.
There you go. Perfect.
It's about half the size it usually is. Who knew? It's because we're doing it Friday instead of Thursday,
I guess. Okay, so my first impression is I love the style. Like immediately, like I love the style. It just has a certain look, and I can't even describe it, but it just feels really, really congruent with everything else that's in that image. Because that image to me is like it's representing your products, and I like it, and it looks professional. Like it's on the backing board there, and or the cardboard, and you have all of that. So I really like it, and I also like the simplicity of the name Janelle and Janae, and even the logo. It's like very simple. It's almost like minimalistic feeling. So I like it. Chris, what's your thoughts?
So the name escapes me now, but there is actually a style around this, right? And I know immediately somebody will comment what this is, but you guys said, hey, we're kind of all over the place. Just looking at this image, and we haven't looked at the products yet, you're really not. And the name, anime is not the right word, right? But there's like the personification of objects, like hyper colorized thing going on here, and that is a style, and somebody can correct me in the comments because I know that's not the right word, right? But there is definitely a niche that we can build out of this if the other things that we see in the shop are built around what we're seeing in the banner right here, right? Like this is something that if somebody bought the, what are those, boba tea earrings, whatever this is right here, you know, they might come back and buy the ice cream earrings or the smiling, is that an egg yolk in there, right? Like that's gonna be their style,
right?
And so this is something that we can create repeat customers out of. And I think in the intro slides you guys use the word whimsical, and the reason that I don't like that word is because it can mean a bunch of different things to different people. And so that was my concern when you said this. Looking at this, it is whimsical, right? It's like the bright colors, but that's not the word. And Baby Goth back in our live audience here gave us a style name that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce because it's Japanese, and I know I'm just going to offend everyone if I try to butcher it. So that may be what you are looking for in terms of what your niche actually is. But let's dive in and take a little bit of a deeper dive and look at some of the products, Scott, before we even do something like Run Everbeat to get a sales estimate. So besides the banner, which I think is great, what are your thoughts as we start to scroll down about the shop announcement, the logo, all of the kinds of things that we typically look at first?
Yeah, I think everything looks clean. So I don't have a problem with any of this. I think it all looks really, really good. It looks like I said earlier, it aligns with everything. The design looks really good. I think your images are good. From what I can see on the front, it looks like they're videos too, because I can see a little play button there. So there must be a little video. Chris, can you hover over one of those and we can see what happens? Yeah. Oh, beautiful. That's really nice.
These are
killer. Yeah, that's really, really good. Really good. Like that's going to get your attention.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to give you a little behind the scenes on how these Etsy shop audits even happen. Every single month, Chris Schaefer and I, we meet and we batch record 3 to 4 of these episodes. Then they get edited and they get posted like the one you're watching right now. But what we decided to do is create what we call our Backstage Pass Club. This is where all of our club members, they get to join us on that recording as we're doing it live. The other cool thing is you're able to ask questions, and you also can get access to the recordings before they ever air, immediately, raw and unedited. You even get all the questions that were asked that you might have missed because, well, maybe you couldn't attend that one live. So if you'd like to be part of our Backstage Pass Club and join our next batch recording session, head on over to brandcreators.com/club or click the link in the description. Now let's get back to the audit.
Yep, that's really, really smart. So right here, so watermelon earrings, okay. Chinese koi fish earrings, okay. Cute, okay. So you're right. It is a little bit all over the place, but there are people that are searching for watermelon earrings. I know that, right? Like, not that I buy them, but you get what I'm saying. Like they definitely are searching for those, or who knows, maybe bananas or, whatever. Like, but there's definitely someone there. I don't know the person that's looking for those. Now, I'm not quite sure that there's a big enough niche for that, unless you're tapping into like, there's this craze about watermelons and everyone is like put it like I know people do decorate certain things with like that whole vibe, right? Like almost like a 50s-ish kind of style or whatever, right? But I don't know enough about it. But I'm always looking at like, so here, like you're going after someone that's searching for hamburger and French fry earrings, right? And maybe there are. But what we want to do, and you've probably heard us say this so many times, but we're going to say it again, is that we have to get some type of direction so we can pull in people. And then when we pull them in, it's going to align with, like, if someone bought the hamburger and French fries, what else would they buy in your shop? They just, oh, I'll get the watermelon ones too. Okay, maybe, right? I'll get, the donut ones too and the coffee. Okay, maybe, right? But it's not necessarily, it's like if someone is shopping for a wedding gift, it's like very specific that they're looking for to satisfy that one search. And I don't know, maybe if we did a search and we said there's people that are crushing it with selling like food earrings. Okay, that's your niche. You're gonna serve the food earring, niche. Like, I don't know. Which we would have to run some numbers. What have you done so far for product research? Have you done any?
Yeah. So we did some research on some other jewelry designers that are really in that same kind of look and feel. Like, I think kawaii is kind of one of the words that describes the style of the art.
Oh, okay.
And there's a few of them that are doing really, really well. And when we look at their Etsy shops, we get excited, we get inspired. And so, so there's a handful of us out there that do that. Now, I know jewelry is a big niche. I mean, it's not a niche, but a big product that sells really well on Etsy. But ours is different because it's not so much like, gemstones and, precious metals and things like that. It's more like just something fun for maybe an event or party favor or, not a high priced item. But we do get repeat customers, which is really cool.
Okay.
So I guess there are people who like that look, and want multiple pieces that reflect that style. But yeah, there's a few of us.
I think that's the thing that stood out to me, and I think kawaii is probably along the lines of something that I was looking for. That's like big eyes personified, right? Like personification of objects, bright colors, right? Was I somewhere in the neighborhood with that? And so when we look at the banner, that's what we see. And so if that's who we're bringing in, right? That's what we're seeing when we do that. We can do that with a bunch of different things. They're going to buy all of those things. They're not necessarily, right? The people who can buy, and you might even get them on the koi fish here, right? They're definitely going to buy the cookies and milk. They're going to buy the chicken and waffles. Where you might start to lose them is in some of this kind of stuff, right? Because it doesn't match the style of the rest of the shop, right? We could probably get around it with the cute cows and maybe even the chickens to some extent. But some of the other things in here, right? And for lack of better term, the more plain things, like it sounds bad to say that out loud, but I don't have a better word for it, right? Like the more simple designs are not necessarily in congruence with that style or the types of things that customer would buy. So the question that I have for both of you is between those two things right now, like the standard, like pumpkin, chicken, cow earrings, or more of the kawaii style. And somebody yell at me in the comments because I'm probably butchering how to say that. Which are we selling more of currently, and which do we prefer to design?
Well, her design style is that kind of kawaii character. Like she draws those all day. Like we got a whole character set coming out pretty soon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But actually, the watermelons are selling like crazy. I don't understand, but they're selling like wildfire. And the goldfish are selling really, really well. So that's why we come to you is because it's like our customers are kind of pulling us in two different directions or multi different directions. And our creativity is going in multiple directions too. So it makes it hard to find where to stay. So yeah.
So, okay. You did send over some screenshots and stuff, and we're going to dig into that, but I'm curious, maybe we start here. Because I think looking at your numbers and all of that stuff, I think is going to be very helpful. But I think what's really going to be helpful is to try to identify what that lane is or what lanes that we should be traveling in right now. I don't think like you have to ever stop creating that other stuff because you sell earrings, right? You sell the jewelry. Like, so you can always add in jewelry. It's not like you're adding something in that isn't jewelry, right? It's like jewelry, like you said, is a product necessarily, but you're catering the jewelry to specific styles or niches, right? So I don't think you ever have to stop that. It's just, what are the products that are leading people in, and those people that are coming in, what else would they want to buy, or could they buy? Or you put out a new, like you said, you're doing a whole new set. wouldn't it be cool to let everyone know kind of like we're creating this new set, we're going to be dropping it at the end of the month, and then all of a sudden you do that. Or maybe you do an exclusive run of just creating these, these certain earrings, and you're only going to make 100 of them, right? It's kind of like the sneaker stuff, right? Like Nike puts out like one thing, or Jordan's put out one thing, and boom, everyone's trying to get a number so they can have a chance to buy them. It's the same idea, but you could do it on a smaller scale, obviously, but you would maybe release a limited edition, which I think could do really well. But you only can do that with people that are interested in your style or whatever you're trying to do. So Chris, maybe what we can do, I'm curious on the ones that inspire you, the ones that are doing good that you had said, maybe you could give us those and we can like look at that stuff, and maybe that'll lead us into a direction. So can you give us one that we might be able to kind of explore?
Well, definitely check out the watermelons. Definitely check out the goldfish. And what else do we sell like ridiculously? It's just surprising. I got a little list.
Okay. So while you're doing that, so like, what are the shops though? Like there's a couple of shops. If you can give us one or two of those, we can kind of look at those and maybe just draw some inspiration ourselves. But Chris, this is their stuff right here, right?
Yeah. So this is their watermelon listing.
Okay. Cool. Hey, I wanted to cut in here real quick. If you're wondering what tool we're using to gather all of this information and to really make these important decisions on products, well, the tool is called Everbee. It's the only tool that we personally use for everything Etsy. They have everything from product research, keyword research, and they also offer email marketing now. That tool you can get access to absolutely free when you visit brandcreators.com/Everbee, and you'll get 10 free searches for the month. You can try it out before you invest in this tool. My recommendation is every single Etsy seller should be using this tool. So if you want to try it, go to brandcreators.com/Everbee, and you can go ahead and get access to it immediately. All right, let's get back to the audit. All right, yeah. So let's see here. So watermelon earrings, and then we have a sterling silver, resin, party favor, cute gift, summer style, cute and fun. Okay. And then your tags, let's look at the tags: Mother's Day gift, girls, friends. That's the other thing too. Like, what about like BFF? Like that's big, right? Girlfriends, right? Maybe siblings, do something that's like sibling related, right? People all want to have like, hey, I'll wear mine, you wear yours, right? Especially
does that work with earrings?
I think it does. I don't know. I think it could. I know it does, like with bracelets and maybe necklaces, right? The necklace was like, you wear your half, I'll wear mine, right? I mean, like that stuff. But definitely siblings, family members. It's kind of almost like if you think about Pandora, right? That's a big one where it's like you add charms and you do all of that stuff. I think anyway, I don't know much about that, but from what I gather. So I'm just looking at like that type of stuff that could go along with this, or things that you could tap into. Like if you were going after like sibling gift, right? We know that that's going to be searched a lot. And then if you had a line, and the cool thing is with what you guys do, like you're creating this stuff. So it's kind of like you could build a little product line for the sibling, then another one for mom and, mom, daughter, father, son. Like you can do all of these different things, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else you got here, Chris?
Yeah, just looking at this one specifically, the first thing that pops into my mind is this is like the perfect backyard barbecue hostess gift thing, right? And so I don't know how to necessarily turn that into a niche, but that may be one reason why these are so hot right now as of recording this, is like, I don't want to take another stupid bottle of wine over to Janet. Right? Like, what can I do that she can wear to the barbecue, like stand out a little bit? And that to me, looking at your tags, right? Where like summer party favor, pink sweet fruit, right? Like all of those things, that just screams like backyard barbecue gift to me. Again, just looking at where the search traffic could possibly be coming from. And I don't know if you guys are running any Etsy ads or anything. We could take a look at that data. But the thing that's nice about this is if they actually really like these bright colors. That does tie back into some of the other things that you're doing. And if they're the type of person who wears, is the right term statement jewelry, right? Like it's a small piece that shows off your personality, right?
Yeah.
Like your average boring mom is not going to wear watermelon earrings.
Right.
It's somebody who's trying to showcase their personality. They're trying to make a statement. And with the way that you guys treat colors, there's definitely something there, even if they're coming in on like the backyard barbecue keywords, right? And so I think there's definitely something that we can do with this, but I want to take a look at some of the other ones.
Now, Chris,
that are
before
selling.
you go on here, though, I want to point out a couple of things. I want to ask a couple questions here while we're looking at this listing. So, and there's a couple other things I want to ask. So, number one, it's in 20 plus people's carts, right? That's a good thing, right? But we're not selling 20 of them right now a day, right? But we got 20 in the cart. My question is, do you have your internal trigger set up to give a discount on the back end of abandoned carts?
Yeah, we do. It's kind of high though. I think we're giving like 40% off or something.
Are you really?
Yeah, I mean, we're new. We're only like 4 months in, so we're just.
No,
trying to
I know, but how is that converting for you? Is it converting?
I don't know if I've looked at the numbers for that deal specifically, so
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's something I would definitely want to look at. The other thing I would say on the front end of this is, are you guys running any sales at all on this? You know, because like right here, we see $16, which also we just had some comments come in with the live audience that said basically you're charging not enough. You're like you're undercharging. It should be like someone said $30. So you know, I would say bump the price and run a discount. Like I would run a discount if you're not, because here's the thing with the discount. And you've probably heard this before. Number one, psychologically, we always like to buy when things are on sale. We just do, you know. Secondly, is you get that little green, a sale, thing on the bottom or a strike through. They're always changing it and testing things, but you also then get placed in some of the areas of the site of Etsy that are saying, hey, these things are on sale. Hey, these things are 25% off. I mean, you see it in the gifting little guide there that they have now. So I would definitely run sales if you haven't, or if you have, I would do it again. I would increase my price, and I wouldn't increase it just because you're running a sale. I'd increase it because I think they're worth more. And then that way there, if you do want to run a deep discount, you can. If you want to only make $16, you still can. But I think that'll get you some sales velocity there. The last thing I would say though, is you've got customers who have purchased these. So I would look at the reviews, see what they're saying. Like a lot of times they'll say what they're using them for. Oh, I bought these because I was going to a barbecue. I bought these because of this, or I bought these for my sister who loves watermelons, right? Like whatever it is. And then the other thing I would do is I'd reach out to some customers and I'd ask them. I'd say, hey, I noticed you bought our watermelon earrings. I'm just curious, what'd you buy them for? Like, was it an occasion? Was it this? Ask, because that's going to lead you to who is buying it. And that's what we need to find out. If we find out who's buying it, now we can start catering it to who's buying it.
That's really good. Yeah, we do run sales. I just forgot to
turn it back on. Yeah. My wife does that all the time. It's fine. She did that the other day. She's like, man, I wonder why my sales are down. And she's like, and then she looked and she's like, my sale ran off, and she couldn't do it at the time. So she was like, I'll just have to do it when I get back home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it happens. Too bad they didn't have something that could, like, you could reschedule it. Like that would be something, but they don't. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we're getting some photos of them being like, this is great. People are leaving reviews. Just very happy, fast shipping, love the set, so cute, I love them. Minimalistic. Okay, yeah, minimalistic.
This is
another word there we want.
Very underrated place to figure out why people are buying your stuff. If you notice, like the very first review that they showed was like, it's the perfect summer statement, right? Like, and so if you just scroll through your reviews, you'll start to understand a little bit more about the market. And even looking at some of the people's profiles, if they have some of that filled out, they will tell you in some cases exactly what they're into. So cute earrings, highly recommend, right? You're not going to get a ton out of this at this stage, but the more reviews you get, the more you are going to start to see some themes pop up, right? So if we see some things like this, then we know this is a summer statement piece,
Yep.
right? And if we can come up, maybe we do, super high color corn on the cob, or like whatever the next thing is that they could wear to the next summer barbecue, then we can start to really capitalize on some of the repeat business that way.
Hey, Chris, can you pull up Everbee and let's just do a search for watermelon earrings. I'm just curious to see what comes up and see if there's anything that can lead us to yeah, there we go. The other thing is too, while he's doing that, I just want to say, I mean, there's opportunity here too to get in on that print on demand game. I mean, you just saw it when he pulled it up there. It was like, watermelon like canvas, right? Like someone might want that for their kitchen or whatever. So it's just another opportunity that you could build off of if we're going to go down. Because I'm looking at this like right now, I'm starting to feel like it's like you said, Chris, it's almost like a statement, but also where someone said it in the comments, kind of quirky. Like someone that just wants to have that, like wear the earrings and be like, oh, I love your watermelon earrings. And you're like, thanks. And then you come by, then you're like, well, I gotta have something, cool for the next time you come out. I love your hot dog earrings. And you're like, oh my God, yes, I know the hamburger ones are coming next week. Like, so you could like satisfy that person. I don't know what that person is labeled as, like, not that they have to be labeled, but like who would that be for? That's why we have to do this little bit of prying in the reviews and kind of asking our customers and seeing who that is. So what do you got here, Chris?
So just looking through this, right? Some of these say like Palestinian watermelon. I don't know why that, other than just trying to capitalize on it, they don't necessarily have anything to do with that. But looking at the sales here, Scott, there's a good chunk of sales around watermelon earrings that are happening. And the question is, how can we more accurately capitalize on that, or more ambitiously capitalize on that? One of the things that I did notice looking at your titles is that they are just a list of keywords. So that would be one thing I would suggest changing. We don't want to just keyword stuff it. And we haven't released the results yet because the survey is not complete, but we are doing the Etsy seller survey again, or the Etsy buyer survey again this year. And one thing that I noticed that was a big difference from last year so far is people are saying having a human readable title is extremely important, right? And so making sure that we're including some of those keywords, but telling people exactly what it is in the title will help get more clicks and also therefore increase our conversion rate just a little bit. But looking at these, I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to compete necessarily. Scott, is there anything specifically here that stands out to you?
Well, nothing that's standing out other than there's consistent sales, okay, for this, which is exciting. But now what I would want to do is I want to find someone who's doing well selling these earrings, and I want to look at their shop and I want to see what other things they're selling that would give me an idea or a clue of other things that I could sell. And like I said, it could be for that person that's searching for just those different, statement pieces for their earrings, and it could be, like you said, hamburger and French fries. Like it could be literally that. So watermelon small, free. And what is that? Palestine?
Free Palestine. So I guess watermelon must have something to do with the Free Palestine movement, I'm guessing.
But so is that something we should be keying in on? That's what I'm asking.
Well, it's something we would have to search, right?
Okay.
The downside to something like that is it is going to be a trend. The upside is if we can capitalize on the trend, right? As long as we're doing it in an appropriate way, then we can bring in some additional sales, right?
Yep.
Let's take a look. I know this is a lower price, but I'm just curious.
In 11 months,
fun and quirky.
319 sales.
Let's take a look at this listing. Okay, so $595 plus. Make it a set, add a necklace. I like this.
Oh, I like that too.
And so for anything that we're selling, if we can add those things in, and Scott, you mentioned a minute ago, adding in print on demand, especially for something like the kawaii stuff, again, butchering it, deal with it. That lends itself to saying, hey, I want to match my phone case to my earrings, right? So if they're buying the kawaii hamburger hot dog thing, then let's get them a hamburger hot dog phone case. And we can do that with print on demand. If you're designing these digitally to start with, it's pretty easy to go in and be able to do that. But I'm curious, Scott, since they have some quirky jewelry,
Yeah.
can we dive in and take a look at this shop here?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly where I was going next. Yep. So they've had 1,272 sales. So I mean, not crazy numbers. Let's run the numbers on their entire database if we can, and then we can kind of see what's happening here. And let's sort by sales. Okay. So sunflowers. That's another summery thing. So maybe it's a summer collection, right? And then you have, like you said, like you do usually pretty well when you're going towards like a holiday. Like I could see Christmas being big, right? All those holidays could be big. And I could see someone being a repeat customer for that, right? Because they love your earrings, they love your style. And so it's like summer stuff, you've got that. Then you're coming into fall stuff. What's that going to be? Maybe turkey, 2 turkeys or something. You know what I mean? Like something that is fun. And it's not like the way I look at it, your stuff is fun. Okay. Like you said, it's that whimsical, I guess, like you said, like someone said, whimsy. It's kind of like quirky. It's not like you're not taking me too seriously, right? We're having fun. And I think that's a style in itself. And I think if someone's a customer and loves your stuff, you could sell them for years on that stuff. So Chris, I mean, sunflowers, that's a great idea for summer as well. Adding that piece in there.
I just went and I searched for quirky jewelry, right? First of all, bestseller, watermelon earrings.
Yep.
Right.
That's one of the ones.
Although it looks
that's the one you did research on
the Lilliput. I guess that's how you say it. Lilliput.
Yeah, I want to pull that up, Chris, to their shop, because I know that they said they had one that they were using as inspiration.
Dr. Pepper earrings. Cat in cup earrings. Doing this in a kawaii style would be great, by the way.
And so let me ask you this though too. Are yours handmade?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I would put handmade in the title.
Okay.
If it's not already, I don't think it was it, Chris?
I think
it's not. Okay. Yeah, put handmade in there. Handmade's big now because again, some people are saying, yeah, Etsy doesn't have handmade anymore. I don't want to, so you put handmade, people are going to search handmade watermelon earrings or handmade earrings. Boom. Now all of a sudden you're going to be separated from everyone else because you're calling out the exact search. So I think just putting handmade in there could be a game changer for you. I think on the number one, handmade, I think that's a big takeaway. So I think we need to add handmade because they're handmade, right?
Yeah.
So handmade needs to be in the title. I think going down I think we said we can call it whimsical, quirky, we can call it whatever we want to call it. It's that person that wants to wear those kind of funky earrings, right? Like that watermelon, like you guys have hamburger and fries, which I think is awesome. Whatever other things that person can buy, I think why not just stay there? You guys enjoy making that stuff. And I think just looking at the watermelon, the watermelon stats that we were looking at, there's a ton of potential just there. So and again, we always kind of look for what is the demand product? What is the in-demand product? Like right now, watermelon, maybe it's because it's in season or it's going to be coming into summer, but there's always going to be that, right? There's always going to be something so for fall, there's going to be something else that's going to be in that place. So I would try to find those out throughout the year, but right now it's watermelon. So let's kind of capitalize on that. Sunflowers was another one. Do you guys have sunflowers?
No.
I'd probably consider doing something there, or at least research to see that. But we always kind of look at it where it's where can we find those lead-in products, right? The hamburger and fries, they might not be the thing, but if people come in, they might like them. So let's lead with the in-demand, which is the watermelon, right? So that's what I would say probably is the best kind of move for you guys. Still create all of this, let's call it funky, earrings and quirky. Let's keep doing that, but let's figure out what it is that customer would buy alongside it. Like in that one shop that we seen where it was kind of you might want to buy this too, or you might want to add this necklace. Do you guys have necklaces too?
No, we haven't gotten down that far.
Okay. So
In our
you could
creative.
totally, yeah, you could totally like add that into the mix, you know? So I think the big takeaway for me, for you guys, is definitely looking at just adding more, or even like looking at that keyword. And I forget it's I'm drawing a blank on it there. Was it pristine or Palestine?
Oh yeah.
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 Look into that. Is that a keyword that we need to add? I don't know. But those are clues that we saw just by running that search. All right. So we are looking at your Etsy ads performance here. And how long have you been running ads? I know you said like you kind of started back up in 2024, but like when you started, what, January 2024? Like when did you actually, you did? Okay. Okay. So this here's for the last 30 days. So we have $237 spent, $230 in. So that's a negative, but your overall sales, I'd have to pull up your other number. I know you have it, but your overall sales in the last 30 days was more than this, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So
I guess, I guess what my point is that these sales probably got you some reviews. They probably have signaled the algorithm that you're getting sales. So because of that, that could have created those organic sales. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so I would want to look at this a little bit deeper and say, okay, like why are we getting clicks, but we're not getting sales? Or what are we getting the clicks from? Have you looked at your keywords that are being displayed that are leading to a click? Have you went that deep yet?
A little bit.
Okay.
But not a lot.
Okay. Was there anything that stood out to you that was like, oh, we shouldn't be showing up for that? Like, or we don't want to show up for that?
Yeah. And so I was going through and turning on and off some of the words.
Okay.
Because some things were just too general or wasn't related at all. Like for our goldfish earrings.
Yeah.
Dragon kept coming up. And it's kind of related with the Chinese kind of imagery and everything like that. But I turned it off because that might be a reason why somebody wouldn't buy them, because they were looking for dragons. You know?
Okay.
So something like that. There's a few.
Okay. All right. So let's go here now. Okay. So now this is this overall?
Yeah, for the last 30, that is the overall sale. Yeah, that's just the overall sales. So that's not the ad sales.
Okay. So we have 1,388 visits. We have 38 orders. Your conversion rate is great, 2.7%, which is great. And your revenue was 463. I do think that our conversion rate's great, but we just need to get more visits, right? That's the goal. Exactly. And I think when we're looking at the watermelon thing in itself, like, again, we want to find more of those things because that's what's going to lead the people in. I think because we saw the numbers of other people selling the watermelon stuff, we want to use that as I call it a lead magnet. It brings people in, right? That's attracting the people. And now we want to go ahead and pull them into our shop, which is going to then hopefully, show them our other products. So I think right now, like, this is a great base for you guys. I think we just need to build on that. And I think the watermelon example is perfect. So this is the nice little, design that you put together that you had said, you're like, hey, I hope you don't mind. Yeah, I've got some, a little bit of a background in doing some design work. I hope you don't mind. I'm like, I don't mind. That's great. So let's check this out now. And I know Chris is going to like to look at all of this data, because that's what he geeks out on this stuff. So we're looking at earrings, stud earrings, fun earrings, food earrings. That's interesting. Kawaii earrings, Chinese earrings, football earrings, and how do you pronounce that one on there? Is just coquette?
Coquette. Yeah, coquette. I don't know.
Okay.
But we say niche.
Yeah.
We say niche. People say niche. It's the same. So we have here now this monthly searches. Where are you getting those numbers? Just from like Everbee, a tool, another tool? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. I always like to kind of preface this, like these are guesses.
Right.
These are not like accurate numbers. And I say that because they're really not. The accurate numbers are going to be what you're seeing for impressions or views, right? That's what we want to go by. So I don't look at this and go, oh, wow, look at food earrings. They're only getting 928 searches. So it's not that popular. I'm not going by that. I'm not going by that. So this stuff here really, I like it that you have a list of keywords, because this also shows you like these are like, and you could say that they're sub niches, but it's like subcategories.
Okay.
I see fun earrings and food earrings, kawaii earrings, Chinese earrings, football earrings. Like those are all like labeled as something.
Right.
Right. So I like that. And then this here are, let's see. Okay. So these are, is this your competitive research?
Yeah. So these are other shops that sell jewelry that's more similar to ours.
Got it.
Just the numbers that they're doing.
Okay. I like this. Yeah. I like this. Okay. So total shop sales, 115,000 for your top last 30 days, 2,486. So yeah, it's really good, right? Yeah, let's see here. We got another one, the one down next to that. So that's the cool thing that you did here. You like broke these all out. What do we have here? 7. I think, yeah, 7 shops. What's cool about this is like, if all we did was base it off of the first one, we might be disappointed because that might be all of the demand. But what we want to do is we want to look and say, okay, all of these other ones are also taking a piece of the pie. Right. And we can learn from every single one of them. Not that we're going to copy them, but we can definitely learn from them. And I guess, again, without looking at each individual shop here, we wouldn't really know. But you've done the research. Which one out of all of these would you say is more aligned with kind of like where you want to go or what you're selling right now?
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Chris, could you maybe get that?
That's good because that's the one I have pulled up.
Oh, cool.
Perfect.
Awesome. Do we want to dig into that one then next? We might as well. Let's just go ahead and dig in. Cool. Okay. And so, and this is out of just 41 listings. And it looks like that one there, book stack earrings. Interesting. Okay. So kind of a book stack, meaning I'm assuming, okay, there's kawaii dumpster fire earrings. Okay. Interesting. And the book stack. Okay. So the book stack, is that just?
It's a stack of books.
Stack of books. So someone that likes to read, right?
Yeah.
UFO earrings. There you go.
Interesting. Okay.
I think the thing I guess that's the other word that we've kind of avoided, Scott, is like novelty or meme earrings. But I am seeing that pop up here. And then what they are doing, and again, like they're not using the ideal title style for what buyers are saying that they want, but it's clearly working. What we can do is take a look at what they are doing. And they're always very clearly saying who it's for, right? So if we look at book stack earrings, who's it for? Librarians or book lovers.
Yep.
Right. So they're making sure to include those in there. Pickle earrings, right? Mushrooms. Scott, how would you say this word?
Which one is it? I can't really read it.
Oxalot.
Oxalot? Yeah, I'd say it like that, I guess.
Strawberry, sushi roll.
Oh,
right?
a sushi roll. Yeah, that's interesting too, right? Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of these do really well. And I think to get to what was the goal? 56,000 a year or 56,000 a month?
Let's call it 50K.
How many times do we want to pay for it?
Let's call it 50K. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to sell nearly as many as Lilliput Little Things is selling, but we can really start to learn some lessons. And what they are doing, even if they haven't defined the niche, they have a niche, right? It's bright colored jewelry that is a personality. There is, there really probably is a better word for that. But looking through here, right? Campfire and s'mores, retro cassette mixtape, right? And so they really are going after the quirky jewelry market here. Maple leaf, right? And so Chris, I think there's
Chris, can you do something for me though, real quick? Go to, and I know, are we analyzing all of theirs or just the 41?
So this is just the most recent 41.
Okay.
So let's analyze all.
Because what I want to do is I want to sort by total sales all sales, like total. Yeah. And I just want to see like what has been their top performers. Oh, look at that. Okay. Witchy. There you go. Christmas, of course. Ghost
Strawberry.
for Halloween, right? And then strawberry, kawaii. So I would be looking at this as this is the roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
This really is. Like that's the roadmap right there. Like ghosts, obviously Halloween time, get those ready.
Yeah.
Like if they're not already there, get them ready, create a few more styles. I think that's get those things going. Snowmen. Oh yeah, that's big. Like around the holidays, how many people are going to a Christmas party? You know, boom, or not even. They're just going to go out and they're going to get their Christmas tree and they're going to cut it down. They're going to put on their stuff, right? So yeah, witchy. I mean, all of this is exactly what you had described earlier. Is like each category or season has its time.
Right.
And the person that buys these types of earrings wants them for all occasions.
Right.
Right. So I think that's the roadmap. Like it's literally right here. It really is. And look, they got 20 in that car, in their cart. They're doing free shipping. Are you guys doing any free shipping?
No.
Might want to play with that.
Okay.
You might want to play with that. I don't know. It's not proven, but it could also help with the algorithm. Nothing usually is going to be like, oh, if you do a title this way, it's going to rank better. But there has been some people that have said that free shipping does help them in the ranking. And it makes sense because Etsy wants to show best deal. They want to show best sales and also saving the most for the customer, which free shipping is going to help do. So free shipping might be something I would play with.
They do actually talk about it in their algorithm documentation. It's not going to be like a game changer, right? Yeah. But it is something that will give you a nice little boost. And people will say, well, how do we do that? You can probably ship these like media mail or, like in a UPS, if it fits, it ships envelope, right? One of those types. I forget what the terminology is off the top of my head. But whatever those like flat rate envelopes are, so you know what that is, you can build that into your cost of goods and you can build that into the price and nobody will know a difference. And the question that we always get on the back end is like, can I charge for shipping? The answer is yes. And what we have seen both internally and when we look at the Etsy buyer survey, people are willing to pay a few dollars for shipping. But if it really is only going to be a few bucks, just build it into the price because you're going to get a conversion rate increase and you're going to get that little bit of a bump from the Etsy algorithm. So if it's like $2-3 for you on average, then I would just see if we could build that into the price and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah. I also would say, because I think we have kind of identified it's for that person that wants to have a statement, right? Or show us that they're setting a statement. Like it's like, oh, look at my earrings. Like it's like funny. Like that's just that type of person, right? Mm-hmm. And I think you could definitely do something if you aren't already and create a little VIP list and you call it something, whatever. Maybe you just call it your name, but I was thinking of something kind of cute and clever that you could call it, like whatever that would be, something, but then make that a VIP club where then they're going to be getting emails from you when you drop new products, when you have sales. And I would really highlight it that you're a mother-daughter duo. And I would highlight that your daughter's doing these and helping you with these. That's going to sell. Like that right there needs to be like in the forefront because I think people are definitely going to want to support. And also it just seems it's real and it's transparent and it's authentic. So I think that could really serve you guys really well. But the email list thing, are you guys building an email list yet?
Well, we started. So probably in the last couple of weeks, we started mentioning, join our VIP club. Mm-hmm. We created a landing page on our website. It's just one page to collect the emails. And we got maybe 4 or 5.
Okay.
So is that enough to start making campaigns? And
one is enough, right? And the reason why I say that is because I would like you to start practicing, right? Okay. And practicing meaning like writing a simple email and then sending it out. And just say what you're working on, maybe even just take a picture of behind the scenes of like working on the new thing, right? And saying it's going to be released at the end of the month. I can't wait to share these. It's my latest creation for Halloween or for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. And then you build up to that. And then for the first week, you do a little launch special to the VIP list. And what that's going to do is it's going to spike your sales. And when it spikes your sales, the algorithm's going to like that. And then it's going to start pushing your product as long as you have it keyworded right. So, but I would primarily though focus, and I'm kind of going back to where we were, and Chris has it up here right now. Like, this person has follow along for updates and giveaways. I like it more compelling than that. Like, this is good, but I like it better. I like to do it better than this. Like, I want to say like join our VIP club and get, up to 40% off. Free monthly giveaways, and you guys could, for the cost of material and to ship it, if it cost you $20 and you gave a set of earrings away every single month to a subscriber, you have a reason to email your subscribers. And when you email your subscribers, you go, and oh, by the way, if you haven't been to our shop in a while, go here. We've got like 4 new sets of earrings or new styles or things for whatever. And you're going to sell, right? So there's so much you can do, but this here is just kind of, and then you got to go to Instagram or Facebook. It's like,
well, this is the backwards way of doing this.
Yeah.
Because even if they do go follow somebody on Facebook and Instagram, it doesn't mean that you're ever going to be able to reach those people.
No.
Right. And so, although it might seem compelling to be like, if they go over here, they're going to see all of our stuff. Getting them on that email list is going to be a lot more important because we actually get the reach to those people and we can start to communicate with them. Scott, the other thing they're doing here that I love is they are upselling in their photos, right? They're saying, hey, do you want some more boxes? Do you want some gift wrap? It's an extra $2-3. We can do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want more than one pair? Right? Add a bunch to your cart and save. If you order 2 or 3 or 4, you can save a couple bucks on each of them.
Yeah.
And being able to do this is either a cross sell or an upsell, depending on how you're looking at it, right? This would be more of a cross sell. The other 2 would be considered upsells in the e-commerce world. We're going to increase cart value this way. We're also going to increase repeat customer loyalty because even if they don't trust us enough to buy 2 or 3 or 5 pairs the first time around, when they get those watermelon earrings and they're like, I love these, they're going to come back. They're going to buy 4 because they want to save the extra couple dollars. And we're going to be able to increase that repeat customer loyalty and the average cart value.
Yeah. I think this is that's a simple thing to do. Like, you guys could do this like almost immediately. All you got to do is create that new code. And the code is only going to be valid when someone buys 2 of something or 3 of something. You literally set that in the back end and then you create that. Like, you can literally do that and that will probably work. I don't think it's going to you're going to get a ton up front, but I think as you start to get more traffic, you will. And it's simple to do, right? It would take you all of like a half hour to set up the coupons and slap together an image. They got free shipping right up on top there too. Orders over 35. So you could do it for orders over 35. You could do that too. But I would definitely model what they're doing here, right? Like they're doing something right. I think you could do it better. Let's put it that way.
Well, in that graphic, when you invite them to be part of the VIP club, Etsy's okay with that? Like, because it's like sending traffic away from their website. How do they feel about it?
Here's the way I feel about it. I'm not on the board of directors. I wish I was. But here's the deal. Etsy does not want you to send emails to people that did not say, I want you to send emails. That's basically all that they're saying. They want you to send emails to people that say, I want you to send me emails, because they want you to promote your products, and they will give you a discount on your fees of 4% because they have that in their save or share and save feature now. Right. So they built the share and save not for social media. Yeah, you could share it there, but they did it for you to drive traffic from your website, to drive traffic from an email list, to drive traffic for wherever you can. So to me, putting it up there like, hey, and the thing is you're going to give them discounts, not to your website. You're giving them discounts to Etsy.
True.
So even if, listen, they're not this sophisticated, I wish they were, but if they had someone that goes, hey, follow that link and see what happens when you go over there, and you go over there and they go, oh, it's a redirect to their website. ban them. That's how that would have to work. It's never going to work like that. But even if they did do that, you're still going to check the box of it's okay because you're directing them back to Etsy, right? Like you're not giving them, you're not saying like, hey, join our VIP list to get discounts on our products in our shop, and then you send them to your website.
Right.
You're not misleading them, but it's clearly stated in the documentation that you have to get permission. They want you to build an email list. They want you to. They just want you to do it with getting permission from people. And think about it. If you put your URL inside of your banner or in an image slot or even in your welcome message, if you put hey, join our VIP list and it goes to a landing page, the landing page says first name, email address. Yes, I would like, your button would say something like, yes, send me stuff, or yes, give me discounts, or yes, I want to join the club, whatever it is.
Yeah. The place where people get caught up there is they read Etsy's terms of service, or the human readable version of it. And there's a clause in there about fee avoidance and driving traffic away from the website. Yeah. And that immediately translates into, well, I can't ever do anything outside of the Etsy ecosystem. And the answer is, if you're not trying to avoid fees and you're not trying to drive traffic away from Etsy, why would they have a problem? Right? Scott, you and I used to refer to this in the Amazon days as the mom test, right? If your mom was in charge of enforcing terms of service at Amazon or at Etsy, and she went through that flow, would she be okay with it? And my mom, being the strict lady that she is, she'd be okay with that, right? Because we're not driving traffic away from Etsy. We're driving traffic back to Etsy. And in fact, we're using Etsy's program to drive more sales on Etsy, which makes Etsy more money. So if you explained it that way, would your mom be upset?
Yeah.
No. Right. And so as long as we're doing things the right way, we're getting people to opt in, there's nothing wrong with that. And especially when we have the potential for repeat buyers like we have here, we need to get them on an email list as soon as possible, because we can immediately start sending them, go get the new collection. Hey, do you want our super secret limited drop? Right? All of those kinds of things will really start to ramp up that cart value. And if we add in a few other things that we see some of the other shops in your niche doing, like having the multiple item coupon, some of those kinds of things, we're going to start to see that really ramp up. And then I think the first two designs you guys should create would be the ones for Scott and I. And Scott, I don't know if you saw them, but as I was going through that store, they have a pickleball set. And then when we looked at their banner, they have a dancing avocado set of earrings. So I think we'd both be happy if those were added to the shop. Yeah. But I think it's one of those things where once you get somebody in, as long as we have a way of communicating with them again, we're going to be able to get those repeat purchases, and we're going to be able to sell them the snowman New Year's earrings, the Easter bunny earrings, the 4th of July fireworks rocket pops earrings. Yep. The Halloween, there's clearly demand for Halloween. There's clearly demand for Christmas. The turkey and pilgrim earring, or whatever sets we want to put up for Thanksgiving. Corn on the cob and pumpkins, whatever we want to do, we're going to be able to do, and we're going to start to see a lot of repeat business from people, and we're going to start to see our path to $50,000-$60,000 become a lot clearer.
Yeah. So I think it's very simple. I mean, simple. It's simple to look at, but it's work, right? You gotta put in the work, and as a full-time student, and I mean, it's great that you're doing this with your mom. But I would say take little bites at it, and the way I look at it is you're also learning. Like, there's not a lot of kids your age that are doing this, that are learning this. This is a huge lesson that you probably won't learn in college. Unfortunately, you're not going to learn hands-on, get in there and build something for the most part. So to me, this is probably going to be with what you're doing for yourself, is you're going to basically, you're already paying for education that you're not paying for. If that makes sense, you're doing
you're getting paid,
you're learning it
for the education.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally going to walk away with you went to college and paid $100,000, and to walk away with what you're learning here today. So I'm super excited for you guys, and I'm super excited to see where this goes. A lot of opportunity. Hopefully, this gave you some more insight as far as where you guys should go and could go. But I just say take it one step at a time. But I think I would really, really kind of lean into that whole quirky, make a statement like you guys have already started, but just find the products that are in demand, looking at the data that we kind of went through and letting that guide you. and then just kind of move forward from that. And if you want to create other products like necklaces and bracelets that are matching, like someone had said in the comments, like, what about bracelets that are matching with something with watermelons or something with a necklace? Those are options, but you also don't want to go so far out of the realm where now you've got all of these other things going on when you're trying to stay, kind of focused on the earring side of things. So any last questions or anything before we wrap up this audit?
Yeah. So what do you think about POD? Is there any kind of opportunity with our specific, niche and our designs and our products for POD? Because I don't see a lot in the, jewelry and accessories kind of space for that. What do you think?
I personally, like, if I was you right now, I would probably just lean into what we just talked about with the earrings, because you're doing that. You've got a system, a process. I'd build the email list. I would do that. And then I would probably, when you're ready and you feel like you got a good grasp on that, and because you haven't been through a full year, I would get through the full year with your seasons, with your earrings. And then I would probably then start to think, let's add in print on demand. Right. And the reason is because you're going to have more complexity when we add into print on demand, and not hard. It's just more things you're going to need to manage. And if we get this thing just doing what you're doing to $40,000, $50,000, it's going to be a lot of work. So I would say, and I think there's still a lot of untapped opportunity in what you're doing because you haven't been through a full year yet. So I would say bookshelf it for a second, like just put it up there. It's there. I do think there is opportunity there for you though. I think there's definitely, like, whatever that person is wearing in their ears would probably wear on a sweatshirt, or would wear or put in their kitchen, or put up on a wall, or cell phone case, like whatever, right? There's a lot of opportunity there, but I don't want to get you weighed down with opportunity. I'd rather focus and get through a full season with all of those other seasons that you're going to be adding in.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, totally.
All right. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much, both of you, and super awesome. And I can't wait to see where you guys go, and definitely make sure that you guys check in with us and let us know how you're doing. Cause I think once we get through summer, we'll be heading into Q4. It's probably going to be really good. Wait till you get into Christmas, right? Are you ready?
Or Halloween, based on what we're seeing in the niche, right?
Yeah. The real question is, are you ready? Because Q4 can be crazy. So, so get ready and keep us posted. And congratulations on, the success that you've already had. And I know you're going to have a bunch more.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So that's a wrap for this Etsy shop audit. But if you want to watch more, well, you can find some more right here. And if you do, well, I'll see you there.